everyone. For a function f of x given here over the interval 0 to 2 pi, we're going to do two steps. We're going to find the maximum and minimum values along with the period. Number 2, find the value of x when our f of x is the minimum value and f of x is the maximum value. All right, so basically for our first step, we're going to be using these two informational things, identities here. So when we have this function given here, what I'm going to do is substitute in my sine squared of theta using this trig identity and my cosine squared of theta with this one. So I'm going to rewrite this as f of x equals 1 minus cosine of 2. We have x, so just put x instead of theta, divided by 2. Then we have plus sine of 2x. And then for this piece, we do the same thing we did before. It's going to be 3 times, and then this one. So that's going to be 1 plus cosine of 2x divided by 2. All right, simplifying all this, we're going to have 1/2 here, and we're going to have 3/2 here. And when you add those up, that equals 2. So we can basically write this as equals cosine of 2x plus sine of 2x. And then we have to add this part here. I'll just do a little shorthand here when you multiply those. All right, so this is going to be plus 2 here. All right, the next step we're going to do is use this format. This is when we solve equations linear in form. So basically for us, our a and b is 1. So this will be 1 and 1. So you take square root of 1 plus 1, and you square them. This gives you square root of 2. So basically we can write this now as equals, and then what you do is you divide each piece by square root of 2. What we're going to do is write it like this. So this is going to be the square root of a squared plus b squared, which is square root of 2. And then you're going to have sine, and then our angle is 2x plus alpha. I already know the alpha, but let's do that. So basically, our alpha is going to be the common angle, whereby cosine, we're going to look at this, cosine of alpha equals 1 divided by square root of 2. This with this one. And our sine of alpha equals 1 divided by square root of 2. And that's what's unique about this, because they share the same angle, and that's going to be pi divided by 4. So now I can write this as square root of 2 times sine of 2x plus pi divided by 4, and then we still have this plus 2. All right, now we're going to do our question here, find the maximum and minimum value. And what we're going to do is look at this. We have f of x equals, and I'm going to squeeze it down here, square root of 2 times sine of 2x plus a pi divided by 4 plus 2. And to get your maximum value, all you do is add your a plus your d. This is your a, this is your d. So this is going to be square root of 2 plus 2. Your minimum value is like this one, but basically you take your a and you negate it. So it's going to be equal to negative square root of 2 plus 2. All right, our period is 2 pi divided by 3. So it's going to be 2 pi divided by your b. Our b happens to be 2 right there. So divide by 2. That equals pi. This is going to equal your period. All right, so that's question 1. Now we're going to find the value of x when f of x is the maximum value and when f of x is the minimum value. So for that, we know our interval is from 0 to 2 pi. So we're going to write 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2 pi. Now what we're doing is we're looking at this argument here. So we have 2x plus pi divided by 4, and we want to make this look like that. So the next thing let's just multiply this through by 2, and that's going to give me 0 is less than or equal to 2x is less than or equal to 4 pi. And the next step we're going to do is add pi divided by 4. So we're adding pi divided by 4 to all of these. Now that's going to give us, let's see, pi divided by 4 is less than or equal to 2x plus pi divided by 4 is less than or equal to 17 pi divided by 4. All right. Now, in general, we know that sine of x has to be less than or equal to 1, but greater than or equal to -1. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our argument and set it to 1 and to -1. So let's do that. We're going to have sine of 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals 1. When this happens, f of x is maximum value. So you have sine of x. This is your max, this is your min. All right, so therefore we're going to set the argument as 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals, and when sine of x is 1, that's going to be pi divided by 2. Or you could say 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals 5 pi divided by 2. So this is going to give us, when you solve for x here, you're going to have x equals 8 divided by pi. And for this one, you subtract the pi over 4 divided by 2, you're going to get x equals 9 pi divided by 8. All right, now let's look at the minimum value. So when we have sine of 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals -1, then that means our f of x is a minimum value. So that's why we're setting that. This is going to happen at 3 pi divided by 2 or 7 pi divided by 2. So we're going to set this as 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals 3 pi divided by 2, or 2x plus pi divided by 4 equals 7 pi divided by 2. All right, from there, we're going to, when you solve for this x, you subtract the pi divided by 4 and divide by 2. So you're going to get x equals 5 pi divided by 8, or x equals 13 pi divided by 8. I'm going to write it here, 13 pi divided by 8. And remember, we're going all the way around to what we had before, which was that our interval is from, I think some of you wondering why we're using these two, and that's because we were going from, remember our interval was from, let's see, I have it written down, it was from, let's see, pi divided by 4, so we have to solve on this new interval. All right, so that's why we went higher than your 2 pi. Now, therefore, our maximum value for f of x is x equals pi divided by 8, or x equals 9 pi divided by 8. And our minimum value is x equals 5 pi divided by 8, or x equals 13 pi divided by 8. And these will be your final answers. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.